Hi, I'm Anthony Ilott, the star of Wrong Turn 6, and I'm here with Sean Evans from Back to the Movies.
We are standing on the edge tonight. Make the week so we can fly. Standing over the edge, falling over the edge. Yeah, yeah. We are hanging on the edge tonight. Need 1,000 wings to fly. Standing over the edge.
Anthony Ilott, star of Wrong Turn 6, joins us tonight on Back to the Movies. How are you doing today, man?
Good, buddy. How are you?
I'm not too bad, thank you. Not too bad at all. So, Wrong Turn 6, I saw it in Screamfest. Congratulations, what a movie.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's great. You saw it at Screamfest in LA. That's fantastic. We were kind of a bit shocked, really, that two festivals picked it up because obviously it's for 20th Century Fox, but it's for the home edition, so we expected to go straight DVD and that kind of thing. But we knew when we got on board that had a really big following, so we thought, this is a great thing that's going to go out there. The fans have been waiting for a long time for the sixth instalment. So, it was just great that it went to Fright Fest in London and Screamfest in LA. I think that's great. I'm really happy. Yeah, I can't really say anything on that, really.
It was fantastic. It had a really great turnout. Now, for everybody who hasn't seen the film yet, you star as the main lead, Danny. Now, first of all, did you know much about the franchise before you were invited on board? And secondly, can you give us a little overview of what the film was all about for those people who don't know?
Yeah, absolutely. I was aware of the franchise. The first one with... I've got a name now.
You know it that well.
Elijah Discu. I think it's Elijah Discu. I think it's from Buffy, and maybe Elijah's the wrong first name. Anyway, moving on. I was aware of the franchise. I'd watched the first four. I hadn't seen the fifth one, so I obviously when I got the part, I was like, well, I'll watch number 5 and have a look at that. And then we lead to number 6, which is where I and the rest of the cast come in, really. So for people who haven't seen the movie, the storyline is based around the character of Danny, who I played. He is kind of mid-20s, used to work on Wall Street, earning the big bucks, but unfortunately had a bit of a meltdown and couldn't deal with the pressure. He ended up spending his friend's money and losing all the money, his girlfriend's money, his best friend's money, and his girlfriend's money. And it kind of just didn't work out the way he wanted things to go, and ended up trying to commit suicide. So he's in a really dark and horrible and low place. And then we kind of meet him and the rest of the team as they are going for a vacation in this place called the Hot Springs, which actually Danny has inherited from his family. So going back, Danny is adopted, has no family that he knows of, and then suddenly hears that he's got this inheritance of this massive hotel. It's a hotel and spa. And he thinks, right, let's go and have a look at it. So they all kind of venture off into the Appalachian Mountains and go and see this place. And when they get there, they're surprised at how massive the place is, but also by the two caretakers called Jackson and Sally, who are Danny's family. We're not really sure how they're connected, but they're bonded by blood. So, the story unfolds that Sally and Jackson are, we think, pretty much brother and sister, and their family line is getting really thin, and it's getting to the end of it, and there's not many people left. They have tried themselves to have children, and it's never worked out. There's been mutations, and some of the kids don't come to term. So it's not been going well for the Hillikers. Danny then discovers all these pictures of his family that he never knew he had, and Jackson and Sally invite him to meet the rest of his family in quite a harrowing scene where he goes into the kind of the deepest part of the woods and see people with his family with like eyes down here and an ear hanging off and things like that, where their mutations have come out because the family, the bloodline hasn't really gone well. So the reason Danny's there in Jackson and Sally's eyes is to continue the family line and continue the Hilliker blood. But obviously, it being a wrong turn film, there needs to be blood, there needs to be death. And one by one, Jackson and Sally and the three Hilliker brothers pick off Danny's friends and girlfriend and things like that. So it kind of ends up really with just Danny at the end. I didn't want to give too much away to people that haven't seen it. But yeah, that's pretty much what happens. And it was amazing to watch it back with everybody. And a good old laugh while we made it. Yeah, it was good fun.
Yeah, good.
I think that's in depth enough.
That's a very nice detailed synopsis there. I mean, I should turn that into text and post it on IMDb for you or something.
I'm a genius. What can I say?
Exactly. No, I mean, in the Wrong Turn series, I mean, there's usually a physical wrong turn actually being made by one of the cast members that leads to, obviously, their eventual demise. I mean, Wrong Turn 6 for me stands out because I feel as though the wrong turn is more of a psychological wrong turn or a mentally wrong decision for Danny's character that kind of reflects the title of the movie. I mean, is that what you guys were going for? The actual change, the wrong turn, the wrong decision that Danny has made?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, I mean, we had a guy directing it. His name was Valery Milev, and a new writer, Frank H. Woodward. And I think they brought a real new twist to it, really. I mean, as Wrong Turn fans, we used to seeing kind of just teenagers arriving somewhere, a load of stuff happens, and then that's that, which is great. And I think that has its place where it needs to be, and I think it's great that they've done that. But I think with this one, Frank wanted to create characters that, and a storyline that would have people that were missing, kind of a gripping storyline, have them involved, but then also involve the gore as well. And I think that the writing definitely helped me with the wrong turn that Danny takes. He goes through such a big kind of a big journey. He starts off really moody and depressed and kind of this, that, and the other, and then ends up kind of running this place. And I mean, to go from your friends and your girlfriend supporting you through a really tough time to then turning your back on all of them, and especially your girlfriend right at the end, Danny has to go through a massive change. And I think that the writing the writing helped that, because I think you started to really care about the characters, and especially Aquila Zol's character, Tony, at the end. I know so many fans and friends of mine and family members, but especially fans, have gone, I can't believe Danny did that. I can't believe he actually chose his family, where he's got such supportive friends. So I think it's definitely had the desired effect. I think people are kind of reacting to it that way and going, I can't believe he's done that, and that's the the wrong turn he's taken that way. So yeah, I think I like to think that we achieved what we wanted as a film, because we wanted something different. We wanted something that had the gore, it had the sex, it had this, that, and the other, but it had a storyline, at the core of it, where you'd care about these characters, and at the end of it, you end up hating Danny. And I think that the writing lends itself definitely to what you see on screen. I've spoken to Frank many a time, and when I was in LA, I saw him a couple of times this time as well, and he said that pretty much every scene that he wrote, that he'd seen when he wrote it, came out the way he wanted it. So I mean, from the writer, that's the biggest compliment you can really get, So yeah, I think you're right. I think that it took more of a psychological way, and I think that it had a bit more suspense. I think I kind of think that it led up to things better. I mean, a lot of people are saying that the deaths weren't soon enough, and there wasn't this enough going on, this, that, and you can't please everybody. You absolutely can't. But I think the people that like drama, and I think the people that like to see characters go through a huge change, really got it and really understood that you need that backstory, because every Wrong Turns film basically is a standalone film with the Hilliker brothers just popping in now and again.
Yes.
So I think that it took that, you needed that time to get to know Danny and the family, and Jackson and Sally and Tony, for then all the deaths to just go once, because at the end of the day, they're trying to get rid of all these people so that Danny can be there to provide for the family. So they need to kill as many people as they can as quickly as they can. So I think, personally, I think when I look at the film, I think it was done the right way. I think it kind of ended up looking how it should have, especially the way that, we had our director of photography, Martin, was insane. I love the way he shot, and he really took a lot of time on the way he it to look, and I think it looks very different to a lot of the Wrong Turn films as well.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, in my review, I think I remember. I mean, it's quite a long time ago now that I reviewed it from Screamfest, but I remember writing about the maturity compared to the previous films. I mean, the previous films, as you were saying, they're very standalone, very linear. You know what's going to happen. The kills come pretty quickly. I mean, you can't please everybody. I mean, if you stick to that kind of generic sort of play out of Wrong Turns 1 to 5, people are obviously going to be expecting more or less the same thing. But with Wrong Turn 6, there was more of a maturity in the way it was done. There was a nice backstory. There was actually something there that you cared about, rather than these group of teenagers being senselessly killed that we see in horror films every single time they come out.
I mean, look on Netflix, the amount of horror films that are just teenagers being killed.
Yeah, campfires, and it's all been done before. I mean, it's pointless. We don't want to see it. We want a bit of backstory. We want some story. And I mean, with Wrong Turn 6 itself, I mean, the turning point for me watching the movie was a campfire scene. I mean, I won't go into it too much detail, obviously, for people who haven't seen it, but it's the kind of scene that Danny makes his mentally wrong turn, so to speak. I mean, what I wanted to get from you, Danny, is kind of your insight. I mean, as Danny's character, what is that instant spark that changes Danny's mindset? I mean, it's good to evil transition. I mean, how did that campfire change everything?
Yeah, well, I think without giving too much away, I think with what the ritual that happens, the ritual that goes on, especially, I mean, I don't want to drink at the beginning of the campfire, that obviously has a psychological, effect on him. It kind of makes him. You'll see in the way the film is shot as well. It makes him kind of. You can't really focus on anything, and this and the other. And this is such a good question, because the one thing, I mean, this, personally for me, what I did was my mum. She won't mind me saying this. My mum is adopted, so I had a great kind of idea of what that is, and an idea of kind of what people want if you're adopted. And at the end of the day, I think that people who don't have a family strive for family. They absolutely do. People that have a family, it's such a community that you have together. It's such a solid bond. And if you haven't had that, and then you get teased with that, yes, the people that are there aren't, normal, but I think they did a very good job of pulling him in and saying, look, we need you, and nobody has ever needed you before. This is your time to be needed, and you need us as well. You need us for support and family and love. And I think that at that time in his life, specifically for Danny, he's at a big low, and when we are low as human beings, we grasp to love. We go for love, and if love is there, you go for it. And I think that for me, I think it's Sally and Jackson's how desperate they are. They're desperate for him to be there, and he's suddenly just flooded by this amount of love that's coming in. So I think that had a huge part in the decision that he makes and what happens to him. It's certainly an interesting scene, and there's definitely been times where I've kind of watched it back and gone, this could have done that could have happened there, this could have done that. But actually, I think it's done very well, that scene. I think it's my favourite scene to watch. I've seen the film probably 5 times now, maybe, with friends and family, not on my own. That would just be weird.
To criticise in your every move.
Should have done that better.
Yeah.
No, I think the love overwhelms Danny, and the prospect of having a real family is a huge thing for anybody to kind of literally it's there for him, right there to take. So I think he just grasps onto that and takes the opportunity to have it.
Well, fantastic. Thanks for that. Great answer. I mean, I when as soon as I saw it, I was thinking, one day I'm going to interview him and I'm going to ask him about that in-depth scene, because it blew my mind. Because I mean, 1 minute he's like so set, you know, his loyalties are, you know where he is. I'm trying not to plot spoil here, and then the next minute it just twists in that heat of the moment. It's as though the campfires kind of just sparked this, reignited this whole new character, you know, without sounding too cheesy.
No, but that's the thing. That's what we do in film. That's the subtext. There's a campfire there that's a fire. It's igniting what's happening there. It doesn't help, obviously, with Danny, without giving too much away. We're going to say that so much in the but he's literally the second before he goes off up to he has an argument with someone, so he's already on the back foot. He's already on that kind of like, you don't understand this. These people are they're the only thing I have that I can call my family. You guys, I love you to pieces, but you're not my family. You're not my blood. So I think that doesn't help the decision he makes, that, you know, he kind of has an argument and he's kind of like already in a bit of a bad mood and a bit like, I want to find out what these people do, why I'm here, what it's all about, and what they want from me. And essentially, he gets told that in a very in-depth scene, I think, yeah.
Yeah, just a bit.
Yeah.
Now, moving quickly on.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think there is a Wrong Turn 7 coming soon, or have people now discovered the use of sat-navs?
That's a great question. Do you know what? I've been said that so many times where people are like, just get a sat-nav.
I had to, man. I had to do it.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I don't want to... I literally can't say anything. I know that Frank Woodward... I mean, it's so up in the air. Everything is so up in the air. You never know what's going to happen. I would love there to be another one. Personally, myself, because that would be great to be on set again and see all of my friends in Bulgaria who we shot with before, if the production company were to shoot it again. You never know. And I think what would be really nice if Danny's arc were to continue. I mean, with kind of 3, 4, and 5, there again, as I said, like kind of standalone films, you don't really see any recurring faces. So I think it would be nice to kind of just discover. You know, I mean, there's so many directions that it could go. If there was a 7th, it could carry on that Danny, you know, they have this huge family and everyone's happy, and then someone tries to come and corrupt it. It could be that, you know, it doesn't work out and everybody hates each other, and, you know, there's so many possibilities. So I've even had people comment to me, fans of the franchise comment to me with their synopsis of Wrong Turn 7, telling me exactly what they would want, which is fantastic to have, and it's great that there is that want for it. I mean, I don't know. I would love there to be another one, obviously. I just would love to be back on set with everybody and continue Danny's story, but it's very up in the air at the moment. I don't know.
It's all good, man. I mean, the end of Wrong Turn 6 leaves a nice wide open gap for someone to come in there and definitely write you in for a sequel. I mean, they'd be stupid not to. I mean, they can't make a Wrong Turn 7 and kind of go back to that single sort of franchise where it's just one film wonders. I mean, if it carried on, it would actually show the growth of the franchise, and it would be great to have you back in there.
I completely agree, yeah. I mean, with the growth of the franchise thing as well, I think that would be great. I mean, if there were to be a 7th film, that's massive. I mean, Wrong Turn is already, in recent history, the longest-running franchise over the years that they've been shot and released.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, to have a 7th would just then be another stamp. And I think with Wrong Turn 6, it kind of took a corner with the way they were shot, with the style of Wrong Turns. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but it's certainly interesting. It's certainly a different way that these films are going to be shot. You know, they could be shot, and the way that the storylines are integrated into it. So a 7th would be great. I think the fans would like it. The people that have loved Wrong Turn 6, and you know, there has been, obviously, with every film, there's been mixed feedback. We've had some people saying, you know, oh, it's not the same. There's not this. There's not that. There's not this. That. You know, but then we've had people say that was amazing, because it's like we always knew, as a team, we wanted to reboot the franchise. We wanted to give it a kick up the backside and say, we're back, you know? And I think we did that. I really do. And being honest, I think we did that. And I think it would be great if we could carry it on. I think it would be silly not to. Really.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree. Now, going back to Wrong Turn 6, I mean, I'm crossing my fingers for Wrong Turn 7, but going back for Wrong Turn 6 for now, I mean, Akila Zoll, Roxanne Pallet, Sadie Katz all star in Wrong Turn 6.
Yeah.
How the hell did you get any work done with such beautiful co-stars on set?
Well, that's a great question. I mean, literally, just that is enough of an answer. Just
as long as you weren't like that, like in your scenes, just drooling everywhere.
No, I wasn't like that. They, do you know what's so nice is they're beautiful women. Obviously, to look at, they're gorgeous, but they are beautiful people, and I think you can see it on film. You know, mine and Sadie's relationship, she's great. I mean, I had spent loads of time with her while I was in LA, I've just come back from. She's such a sweetheart. She cares so much about the franchise. She has been working night and day, doing interviews, doing press, doing this, doing that and the other, because she loves it. And she loves the fans, and they love her for it. You know, she's, you know, I see on her Twitter and Facebook all the time, people are commenting and all this, that and the other, and she loves it. It's great, and it's great to see that she's, you know, giving back, and I love that. Aquila, just amazing. I mean, it was incredible to work with somebody who was so open as an actress. I mean, it's very common that some people can be a bit insular when they're actors, and when they're on the set, they can just kind of be like, just leave me a minute, I'm just going through my lines. You know, I need to just kind of get into character. Whereas none of us were like that, actually. None of us were like that. We were all very kind of like joking around, and then kind of like, should we do our lines? Let's kind of just go over it again. We'll have a look at this, that, and the other. That made it sound like it was a holiday. It definitely wasn't. I mean, you know, there can be times where people are very, very, very serious about their job. And we were very serious about our job, but in a different way. And Aquila, I mean, she's great. She's fantastic. So she helped me a lot as well. She's done a lot of stuff back in LA. She's doing very well for herself now as well. So I mean, it was fantastic. It was great to work with her, especially being, you know, on screen, romantically involved on screen. Just good to know that the first time we met, that we had that connection. We met and we both were like, yeah, this will work. This will work. This will be fine. So yeah, and Roxanne, I mean, I don't really know what else to say.
That said it all, really.
Great, yeah, she's great to have on set. She's so feisty. She's so funny. I mean, the amount of times we just were cracking up at the things she was saying. She's great, and she's lovely. And I went to Fright Fest with her, and we had a great time, and doing interviews and pictures and stuff. She's great. I couldn't have wished for, you know, better ladies to be around. You know, it was great. And also to mention Talitha. Talitha was she played Daria at the beginning of the film, and she was a sweetheart. She's amazing, and yeah, she's fantastic. It's great. It's so funny. I mean, when we see actresses on screen and they're beautiful, we suddenly, I don't know why, but we kind of just we just think they're kind of untouchable and a bit too far away, and they're kind of, you know, like these dream people. But actually, I mean, they were the most laid back people I could have imagined to work with, especially Talitha. Talitha's great. She's so funny, and Aquila, and, you know, the rest of them. It was great. It was such an amazing team to work with.
It's nice. It's nice to hear somebody working on a studio film that has the heart and the kind of workings of an independent, where everyone gets on, everything's nice, everything's friendly. And with that, I mean, Anthony, I think that is the end of the interview. So thank you very much for joining me here on Back to the Movies. Best of luck with Wrong Turn 6.
Thank you.
I'll try to hide all my jealousy from you starring alongside all those lovely women.
Well, what can I say?
Have a great Christmas as well, dude.
Thanks, buddy. Have a good holidays.